Hey, this is Football X Analytics. This video is an analysis of the first half of the fourth quarter. Links are available in the description for the first three quarters. You know what to do. Like and subscribe. Make the football gods proud. Let's do a brief recap of the first three quarters. After both teams traded punts, the Packers scored first with a 37-yard touchdown pass between Bart Starr and Max McGee. The Chiefs responded with a drive that stalled within field goal range, but the 40-yard field goal attempt was no good. In the second quarter, the Chiefs gave the Packers their first 3 and out, and they drove down the field, ending with a 7-yard touchdown pass between Len Dawson and Curtis McClinton. Green Bay immediately retaliated with a grueling 14-play drive that ended with a Jim Taylor touchdown run. Just before halftime, Kansas City drove down the field to kick a 31-yard field goal. First drive in the third quarter ended with an interception at midfield that was returned to the Chiefs' 5-yard line. Elijah Pitts punched his way into the end zone for the score. Both teams traded punts again, but the next Chiefs drive ended with back-to-back sacks and forced the Chiefs to punt deep in their own end zone. Bart Starr and Jim Taylor led a 10-play drive that ended with Max McGee getting his second touchdown of the day. The Chiefs ran one play for 1 yard, and that ended the third quarter. Kansas City Chiefs 10, Green Bay Packers 28. Second and 9 on the Kansas City Chiefs 18-yard line. Dawson drops back, actually has good protection and throws to McClinton, but almost picked off by Herb Adderley. What a great play. Third and 9. Dawson looking to pass again. The pocket is breaking down. Dawson is on the run with Willie Davis behind him. Dawson forces the ball to Otis Taylor, but is batted away by Herb Adderley again. That's going to make it 4th and 9. Chiefs are forced to punt. Jarrell Wilson punts the ball 41 yards. Donnie Anderson receives the ball on Green Bay's 41-yard line and returns it 5 yards. 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers. Starr hands off to Jim Taylor, who runs left for 3 yards. That will make it 2nd and 7. Starr with a play-action pass. He throws to Max McGee, but is picked off by Willie Mitchell. Mitchell's been burned by McGee most of the game, but not on this play. Let's take a look at this interception. Starr has good protection, but just underthrows the pass. Mitchell makes the adjustment and gets the interception. Let's take a look at Willie Mitchell. He went to Tennessee State. He was undrafted but picked up by the Kansas City Chiefs. He played in 87 games, starting 51 of those games. His career stats include 16 interceptions and 5 fumble recoveries. In his 6 playoff games, he has 1 interception, which of course is the one we just saw. And he is a Super Bowl champion. Back to the game. 1st and 10 on Kansas City's Chiefs 11-yard line. Garrett and McClinton in the backfield. Dawson looking to pass. He has time. He throws to Curtis McClinton, who makes a great leaping catch for 27 yards. First down. 1st and 10 on the Chiefs' 38-yard line. Dawson, quick pass to Otis Taylor, who is unable to get away from Herb Adderley. A 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 on Kansas City's 42-yard line. Dawson intends to pass and has time. Finds Chris Burford for 12 yards. Another first down. 1st and 10 on Green Bay's 46-yard line. Dawson is passing again. Rolls out right. He has lots of time and is looking deep to Otis Taylor. He's off target, missed by a couple feet. There is a flag down. It's on Kansas City. Illegal procedure. 1st and 15. The Chiefs need to pass again. He's flush left, getting chased down by Willie Davis and Bob Brown. Willie Davis brings him down. That's a sack for a loss of 10 yards. Let's watch that play again. Willie Davis just bullies his way past Dave Hill and chases down Dawson. We've already highlighted Willie Davis in the previous video when he shared 2 sacks. The Chiefs are in the hole after that sack. 2nd and 25. Dawson rolls out, looking for Otis Taylor, but Herb Adderley bats the ball down. Herb Adderley is all over Taylor. Nice hat, buddy. 3rd and 15. Dawson passing again. He lobs the ball to Mike Garrett, but Bob Brown leaps up and just able to bat that ball down. That makes it 4th and 25. Let's look at Bob Brown again. How did that big man get that high? Wow, he almost intercepted the ball. With 11:13 left in the game, the punting unit is on the field. Donnie Anderson is going to allow it to go into the end zone for a touchback. Jarrell Wilson's 61-yard kick turns into a 41-yard. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. Green Bay isn't playing conservative. Bart Starr is looking to pass. Oh, he finds Carroll Darrell for 25 yards. First down. Starr going back to pass again, and he's got time. He finds Max McGee for 37 yards. Mitchell brings him down on Kansas City's 18-yard line. Green Bay is acting like they're losing, wanting to score again. Man, that's just a great photogenic shot of pure football right there. 1st and 10. Star hands off to Jim Taylor, who runs up the middle and is stuffed for no gain. 2nd and 10. Split back in the backfield. Star intends a pass. Finds Carroll Darrell for 7 yards. 3rd and 3 coming up. What's with all these hats? Star hands off to Elijah Pitts, who runs to the right side for a 1st down and more. Yeah, wow, what a hit. That was Johnny Robinson. He is tackled on the 6-yard line. 1st and goal. Lombardi gives it to Taylor, who runs up the middle for 3 yards. 2nd and goal with 7:42 left. The Packers trying to run the power sweep, but the Chiefs are breaking it up. Taylor managed to get it to the edge, but it brought down by Johnny Robinson again. Taylor looks like he thought he scored, but he's down at the 1. 3rd and goal. They hand it off to Elijah Pitts, who runs to the left and gets into the end zone for a touchdown. And that's the icing on the cake. An 8-yard play that ends with a 1-yard touchdown by Elijah Pitts. Extra point attempt by Don Chandler is good. With 6:35 left in the game, Kansas City Chiefs 10, Green Bay Packers 35. That ends the first of 2 parts for the 4th quarter videos. Let's take a look at the stats. Dawson has 2 drives, only 2 for 6 for 39 yards and a sack. Otis Taylor's catch was the only highlight of the 2 drives. Willie Mitchell did get an interception, but the offense were unable to take advantage of that opportunity. Bart Starr nearly perfect with the exception of that interception, 3 for 4 and 69 yards. 2 of those catches were 1st downs. Elijah Pitts gets 2 rushes, one for a 1st down to continue the drive, and the other was a touchdown. For the defense, great work by the team in general, Herb Adderley and Bob Brown, and of course Willie Davis with that sack. Here are the numbers for the special teams, nothing noteworthy. Our next video will conclude the analytical series of Super Bowl I. And if you are still watching, thanks. We really appreciate the views and your time. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe.